and that was standard was a huge part of that. Here you see that Oliver is up a game. We're picking things up here on our time walk in game 2. White blue control up a game on black red mid range. Again, Seth Manfield, you see a slight change. We've had him listed as black red aggro earlier, but no Bomat couriers and the additional black mana to leverage some other cards.
With Cinder Barons. I think it was Michael Majors that says it takes a smart man to put Cinder Barons in their deck. But yeah.
All right, here we see a Seal Away taking out a Scrap Heap Scrounger after it has equipped crewed the Heart of Kieran.
Right, and the texture of this matchup, Oliver probably boarding in cards like Lyra, Dawnbringer, and Walking Ballista as...
Here's Pianolar, and that gets met with Essence Scatter, something that Oliver could have done last turn, but because Scrap Heap Scrounger is something that can continue to come back, chose to deal with it more permanently with Seal Away.
Yeah, exactly. Oliver is just trying to take the game to the point where Lyra and Torrential Gearhulk can take over, and Seth is trying to present threats.
Here is Karn.
Karn is a very interesting threat, but I think Oliver's correct to commit, just because Karn down the line wouldn't be too much of a problem, but the fact that it crews Heart here, plus can generate cards for Seth, means that this turn it's a good card to get rid of. But yeah, Oliver missing the land drop with at least 2 Lyras in hand and a Torrential Gearhulk. However, Oliver not out of defenses, at least at this allows, so has time.
All right, Karn Sign of Urza, by the way, that's a sideboard card for Seth Manfield, not main deck. Here we see Sorceress Spyglass.
I'm going to name Teferi Hero of Dominaria. That's why that card is in the deck. But also, Seth does get the bad news. Lyra and Torrential Gearhulk are not exactly easy for the black-red mid-range deck to deal with, because you can keep in some the unlicensed disintegration, but mainly you're down to those 2 copies of Doomfall. And one of the reasons that people play Doomfall, and in Seth's case, the Eldest Reborn and Vraska's Contempt, is because they're universal answers against the blue-white control decks post-sideboard plans. And that's really important, is having a way to deal with the threats that blue-white brings in while having cards that are good against blue-white's core game plan.
So, here we see Field of Ruin for Oliver 2.
Some mana fixing can be also important to power up a potential draw of Search for Azcanta. There's no real reason not to do it here since Oliver had no other actions, and this gives him slightly better mana.
Plays his land, slams his Lyra Dawnbringer into play.
Yeah, Karn that Seth drew this turn. Oh, right. Apologies. Field of Ruin shuffles Karn, Sign of Urza. Something I should point out as well. Meaning that Seth did not draw Karn this turn. Oliver managing to get rid of the Karn that way.
That we know about. It's still possible that he just drew it. He did not. Instead, Chandra, Torch of Defiance is the play. it does reveal a card.
Uncastable since we're 1 mana off. And this is a really awkward position for Seth.
Yeah.
Heart of Kieran can protect the Chandra, and then Chandra would tick up to 6. But eventually, this Lyra is going to take down Chandra. And Seth is expending resources to prevent a Lyra from being an issue. But again, I did say it would survive, but then it loses a counter. So Chandra is again attackable.
And there is Search for Azcanta. That's a card you mentioned as well.
Oliver showing why he's a constructed master, really taking a lock on this game. That sideboard plan working. Okay, well, with Duress.
Duress is going to take the disallow. Essentially. Okay, and there is Doomfall.
Wow, what a reveal off the Chandra.
For Seth Manfield. Wow, it's been a crazy game already.
Yeah, Seth top decking Duress, able to take that disallow, and then Chandra reveals Doomfall. That was like the perfect sequence.
And here you see Oliver, too, not making any, with so much information revealed to Seth. He just draws the land off the top, says, that's what I want to keep. Yeah. Plays Torrential Gearhulk, uses it to commit the Chandra back on top of Seth's library.
Right, and it's hard for Seth to play Chandra and protect it, so this draw from Seth is really critical. But with Oliver is in relative control of this game. Once that Search for Azcanta transforms, Oliver will be in full control, and both Torrential Gearhulk Lyra presents attacks on fronts that Seth is hard equipped to deal with. Plus, Oliver is going to gain card advantage. Oliver is going to really win on all fronts here.
Does Oliver have any way to deal with the Sorcerer's Spyglass if he wants to get Teferi. I know a previous version of the deck had Forsake the Worldly.
Right, and Oliver is playing that card. There's also the free copies of Cast Out, which we would keep because, Rekindling Phoenix is a card. Overall, though, Oliver not too worried about the Sorcerer's Spyglass, but could easily deal with it at some point.
Yeah. All right, there's another Dawnbringer.
You know when your opponent keeps the card from Search for Iskanta that things are not going well. And you see here Seth kept that unlicensed disintegration, understanding that Torrential Gearhulk stays in, Lyra comes in. Good recognition of what a post-board plan would look like.
All right, here's Chandra again.
This card needs to be exceptional.
That's another Chandra.
Yeah, Seth defenseless against this Torrential Gearhulk. Chandra's going to go down, and Oliver, too, is going to have a commanding lead on this game.
Yeah, takes care of Chandra.
Well,
plays Teferi.
If there's no other action,
there's no reason not to put it into play.
I guess you could bluff, but I think playing it here makes sense.
Seth cycles a Canyon Slow. He's up to 6 cards from Search for Iskanta here.
Oliver has Cast Out.
There we go. Cast Out, draw a card.
And we're probably done here. I don't really see a way for Seth to come back. Between that Iskanta the Sunken Rune that's about to come, the 5 damage, a turn from Torrential Gearhulk, and Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, ticking up, giving Oliver card advantage and all the mana that he would ever want. Yeah, here playing the Search for Iskanta, that gets to 7, so Oliver can keep the top card and not feel pressure to transform by bidding an irrelevant card.
Right. All right, there's Pia Noir.
Too little, too late.
Seth does not want the planes, does get to transform regardless. Draws a disallow.
Yeah, and
just in case anything goes crazy here.
Right, and just this is why Oliver's in full control. Already winning, but also has cards that deal with any of Seth's top decks.
Has the very powerful interaction of Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, and Iskanta the Sunken Ruin online.
I would argue Oliver has the powerful interaction of Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, and cards in the deck. that usually is sufficient, actually.
But actually, we're going to see Teferi use its Tuck ability to just push the Pia.
Right, Oliver just trying to end the game rapidly. Also, by doing so, Oliver is locking Seth down the line.
Wow, and there's the hand. Oliver, too, goes to 11-0. He's the last undefeated player in the tournament. Again, can't stress this enough. This guy has been dominating this standard format. We talk about Goblin Chain Whirler all the time, and yet 2 second-place finishes.
The card never touched Oliver's deck.
And he hasn't come anywhere near being able to even cast. He's like, I don't even want a mountain anywhere near my deck. I want no playing blue-black once, playing blue-white now twice. Obviously making changes to the deck along the way as we compared the 2 lists. And what a great job by Oliver, too, as he just puts together an unbelievable back half to this Pro Tour season.
Yeah, it's just incredible. And Oliver's setting himself up to come back roaring. It's just incredible. Like, there are some people that have had free Grand Prix runs, but there's a very short list. I think my favorite one of all time was Yuya Watanabe going first, second.
Yeah, pretty crazy. I can tell you, Luis Salvato, we're not going to get to see his match in action this round, but he did win. So he's still going strong here. And we got more Magic coming up for you right after these messages.